Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jai Mudire. Nashtaprayesho Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 53, text number 27. Evam vadva pratikshantya. Evam vadva pratikshanta. Govinda gamanam nipa. Govinda gamanam nipa. Vam urur bhujo netram. Vam urur bhujo netram. Asfuram priya bhasinaha. Asfuran priya bhasinaha. Govinda gamanam ripa. Evam vadva pratikshantya. Govinda gamanam nripa. Evam, thus, Vadvaha, the bride, Pratikshantyaha, as she waited, Govinda Agamanam, the arrival of Krishna, Nripa, O King Parikshit, Vamaha, left, Uruhu, her thigh, Bhujaha, arm, netram, and eye, asfuram, twitched, priya, something desirable, bhasinaha, be speaking. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, as the bride thus awaited the arrival of Govinda, she felt a twitch in her left thigh, arm, and eye. This was a sign that something desirable would happen. So I'll read the comment. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, her left thigh and other bodily limbs began to tremble. This was a sign of auspiciousness. Jiva Goswami, Rukmini, whose marriage was approaching, was awaiting the arrival of Krishna. Her left thigh, arm, and eye twitched. The limbs are mentioned from lower to higher in placement, but they simultaneously began to quiver. The verb is the subject of each noun. Priya Bhasina should be in the neuter to agree with Netram, but is in the masculine as poetic license. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyanta Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Before we begin, I'd like to request the blessings of Maharaj and Drishta Prabhu, all the senior Vaishnavas. You kindly bless me. You can speak a few words on this verse. Hare Krishna. So, in this section, we are reading that how, in the last few verses, we have been reading how Rukmini's mind, she is anxiously awaiting the arrival of Krishna, and she's actually thinking, so last 5.5 verses are actually said to describe her inner emotion, her inner anxiety, that will Krishna really come? And in that, she's actually, she started off by saying, like, how I'm so unlucky, right? Krishna and even the Brahmana messenger has not come, and she's thinking of different reasons why maybe they have not come up to this point. Right? And then she's thinking like, why has he not come? He has all the powers to come, and he's also affectionate to his devotees. So I wrote the letter with so much devotion. Why is he not responding to my letter? And then she thinks, perhaps maybe there is something faulty in me, some unacceptable quality in me. That Krishna was going to come, and then he saw the quality and he said, maybe I'm not going to come. Right? That's what she's thinking, that maybe something. And Krishna is faultless. Right? Krishna is faultless. But maybe he found some fault in me and hence he's not come. And then further she actually is thinking that maybe the Creator is unfavorable to me. And then she thinks, why would the Creator be unfavorable to me? And then she thinks that maybe Lord Shiva is not happy with me because I didn't serve him properly. Or then she comes to maybe Gauri, the consort of Lord Shiva. Maybe she's not happy with me. And then she's hoping against hope that even though they will not be happy, but seeing my miserable condition, maybe their heart will soften and they will reciprocate. And Krishna or the Brahmana will actually arrive. Right? And then... And then in the last verse we actually read that Rukmini, whose mind was stolen by Krishna, she closed her tear-filled eyes remembering Krishna. And she was almost like, the acharyas give the point that, like in the purport, Krishna is, okay. So basically the point here is Rukmini is almost at the point where she thinks that, I cannot live. I should give up my body. If Krishna is not going to come, the Brahmana is not going to come, is there any point for me to be alive? Let me just give up my body. But then there is a slight hope. And what is the hope? The time is still there. Right? There is still time for Krishna to come. And that kalagya, that's what used in the previous verse, that yes, there is some time. So maybe there is hope Krishna will come. So just that hope was her, her rope to stay alive. Otherwise, she was like ready to give up her body after all those thoughts that, maybe I'm so unfortunate, the Brahmana is not going to come, Krishna is not going to come, I have so many falls, and coming all the way to like, oh, maybe I should just give up my body, And then she finds some hope that, no, there is time, maybe Krishna will come, right? And then in this verse, we finally see one positive sign, that yes, an auspicious sign that yes, maybe Krishna or the Brahmana are going to come. Right? And this verse is actually describing that evam vadvaha, the bride, pratikshantyaha. So those who know Hindi, we use this word also, pratiksha. Pratiksha means to wait. So she was anxiously waiting. So pratikshantyaha, as she waited for whom? Govinda agamanam, the arrival of Govinda. She was waiting. And Nripa, O king. So we see in Bhagavatam, it's so interesting that during the pastime is going on, in between the pastime, Sukadeva Goswami will use one particular verse, he'll say, Nripa, O king. And we can see that all those moments where Sukadeva Goswami is using that word is actually an indication where the intensity is so heightened that at that time, Sukadeva Goswami wants to give relief to the king and say, oh king, it is going to happen, don't worry, it's going to happen. Right? We see this again and again. So here it's reached that heightened. And we can imagine how Parikshit Maharaj is hearing this pastime. Because when they hear, pure devotees hear the pastime, they are in the pastime. They are feeling all the emotions of the pastime. And Parikshit Maharaj's heart is actually going on in the same mood. That Rukmini, she's thinking all these reasons. Is Krishna going to come? Is Krishna going to come? Right? Though, like one way he knows this pastime because he's in that lineage. But, when they hear the pastime, they hear it as if they're hearing for the first time. And in the mind, they're thinking that, will Krishna come or not? Is he going to accept Rukmini's letter or not? So Parikshit Maharaj in that mode, is he going to accept? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? They are hearing the pastime as if they're hearing for the first time. And then Sukadeva Goswami is saying, oh king, have hope, Krishna will come, Krishna will come. And here he's actually revealing, he's saying, Vama urur bhujo netram. Vama is the left side, urur is the thigh, bhujo is arm, and netram is eye. So these three, the thigh, the eyes and the arm were actually twitching. Right? So this is actually sign, an auspicious sign. So actually for men, it is actually considered that right side is auspicious, left side is inauspicious. Like even for, I think Kamsa or Ravana, I'm not sure, but it's described, I think Ravana, when his death was coming close, it's described that his left side was twitching. Right? Left side was twitching, that's inauspicious. But for women, left side is auspicious. And as soon as Rukmini felt these emotions, Asfuram Priya Bhasina, she knows something desirable, something auspicious is going to happen. Right? So we can see how, when Rukmini was just at the stage, she was thinking that, oh, maybe I should just give up my body because Krishna is not going to come. That time Krishna sent a sign that no, it's going to be auspicious. There is going to be union. What you desire is going to happen. Right? So I wanted to focus a little bit on this theme of how Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. And we see again and again in different pastimes that Krishna waits for the last moment and then he reciprocates. Krishna could have reciprocated early, like before we read in the commentaries that Krishna actually got delayed. He could have come immediately, but he got delayed. And certainly there is Krishna's plan in everything that happens. So Krishna actually waits for the last minute and then he reciprocates. Like, which other pastime we can think about. And one which vividly comes to my mind is Draupadi. During that entire disrobing, that entire, episode of Mahabharata, one may say that, why did Krishna wait till the last moment? And we see that how after the entire gambling match, that messenger was sent to Draupadi and then he went to the inner chambers and at that time Draupadi was just in that one cloth, and he actually tells, oh, this is what has happened and you have to come into the assembly. And Draupadi's question was like, oh, first I want to know that did Yudhishthir lose first and then he gambled me? So there's like some technical aspect that if Yudhishthir had already lost, does he have a right to gamble me or not? So he actually sent the message. She sent the messenger back and said, first go to the court and ask, will Yudhishthir first gamble himself and they'll gamble me? And is he actually allowed to do that after he has gambled himself? And it was a very technical and for us maybe if you don't understand the technicality, it's like, that episode, why is she asking that question? Because that was the key question. And if the answer was no, then she, need not come outside, right? So she sent the messenger. And the messenger went and he tried to get an answer, but it was not clear. It was very technical aspect of like, okay, if he is defeated, can he actually really gamble her or not? And then there was some discussion. And again, he was sent, And then again, the messenger came and said, like, what's the answer? And then, because there was no clear answer, right? So Draupadi said, unless I get this answer, I'm not going to come. So again, the messenger came back to the main court. And then Duryodhana got so angry, he said, Dushashan, you go, you bring her, And when you're reading that episode of Mahabharata, it's like, Draupadi is a devotee of Krishna. She's like, always, the Pandavas, they are so elevated devotees. Why is Krishna waiting? Why is he not doing anything at that moment? And then finally Dushashan, imagine, he's dragging her into the assembly. And even after that, he's like, where is Krishna? Like when you're reading, you're thinking like, why is Krishna not reciprocating? And then finally Dushashan, he starts to disrobe her, And then, even that moment is said that Draupadi was holding with one hand the sari, but what was her strength compared to Dushashan's strength? And he was holding, and then with one hand she was calling out Krishna, and still Krishna waited. And finally, when she left both her hands and called out for Krishna, at that time Krishna immediately came, and he manifested himself as unlimited sari. So we see again and again, Krishna actually, he waits till the last moment and then reciprocates. And why does Krishna do this? Like in the first canto, 9th chapter, we have this very interesting conversation of Bhishma Dev. And I really like this one. All the Pandavas, they actually came to Bhishma Dev when he was on his, lying on the arrow of beds. Then Bhishma Dev is actually thinking, why is it the Pandavas had to go through so much suffering all through their life? They are pure devotees. Why did they have to go through so much? And then he actually says, Aho kashtam, aho nyayam, yad yuam dharma nandana, jivitam narhata klishtam, vipra brahmana achyutashraya. He says, those who have taken shelter of Vipra, right? Vipra, dharma, achyuta. So these three things, those who have taken shelter of Brahmanas, they have taken shelter of religion, they have taken shelter of Krishna. How can they have any difficulty? How is it possible? So Bhishma Dev is wearing this Pandavas, they took shelter of Brahmanas, they took shelter of Dharma, they took shelter of Krishna, they were under Krishna's protection. How is it that aho kashtam, aho nyayam, how come the Pandavas went through so much sufferings when they were protected by the Brahmanas, Dharma and Achyuta? And then he mentions Kunti Devi, she went through so much suffering after her husband. And since Pandu actually left his body, she's been going through suffering after suffering. Right? And then Bhishma Dev is thinking that why did this happen? Why is it happening to the Pandavas? Right? And then he actually says, Sarva kalam kritam manye bhavatam yad apriyam, sapalo yad vase loko vayur eva ganavali. That he's actually saying, all this is done by inevitable time. Right? And time controls everything. So everything that's happening is because of time, and hence we can say that time because of the manifesting of time, Pandavas had to go through so much. But then he actually says, how is it possible? The Pandavas, and they have this relationship of Sakhya with Krishna. Arjuna has so how is it that they are influenced by time and they have to go through different kinds of suffering? And finally he comes to a point and he says, Nahi asit karichid rajan puman veda savidisam yad vijigyasa yukta muyanti kavayuhipi. And finally he concludes and says, no one can understand Krishna's plan. Nahi asya karichid rajan. O Rajan, O king, no one can know how Krishna actually relates, reciprocates with his devotees. Even muyanti kavayopi, even great philosophers inquire exhaustively and they are bewildered. They cannot understand. Why is Krishna doing a particular thing with his devotee? Why is Krishna reciprocating in a particular way with his devotee? Why is Krishna waiting till the last moment to actually reciprocate? Why is Krishna actually making the Pandavas go through all this suffering? Right? And then so Bhishma Dev ends at this, but in the commentaries further, in this section, in 1st Canto 9th chapter, in the purport, there's actually one word, Anubhav. It comes later in 1920, I think. Anubhav, the word Anubhav comes. And in that purport, Prabhupada elaborately explains this concept of Anubhav. That means the heightened emotion. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further elaborates. And he makes the point, why does Krishna wait till the last moment? Because he wants to heighten the emotion in the heart of a devotee. Krishna really wants to experience that what is the limit. He wants to bring the emotion to the highest. And then he says, okay, now is the time. Okay, now I'll reciprocate. So now he's like Krishna. Rukmini was almost like, okay, I should just give up my body. Maybe they are not going to come. And then Krishna said, no, let me send a sign. Now is the heightened emotion. Let me send a sign. Right? Even in Kaliya Pasam, it said like, for one muhurat, right? So it's like 48 minutes, Krishna was in the coil of Kaliya. And imagine like Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, they are at the banks and they're seeing Krishna. And almost when they're almost at the stage that now they are going to give up their body, then Krishna actually says, okay, now is the time. Let me actually fight Kaliya. Right? So we see that Krishna, this Anubhav is actually explained in Nectar of Devotion, where it says, Anubhav is the action that results from heightened affection for Krishna to further enhance the affection. Right? So Krishna wants to really heighten the affection, and hence he actually waits till the last moment. Right? So we see this again and again. So if you see in general Krishna's reciprocation with us, if you go through Bhagavad Gita, Krishna actually, let's say in 4th chapter, he says, Ye yatham mam prapadante, tam sathaiva bhajami. Like, as devotees surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. Right? So he starts off with that. And that is like one way Krishna is making a very general point, in the sense that he's saying that even those who want to approach me with different kinds of yogas, I will reciprocate accordingly. However people approach me, I will reciprocate. Right? If they don't want to turn towards me, okay, I will give them the forgetfulness that they will not know about the God. Right? Or he'll reciprocate in such a way that he'll give the intelligence for them to argue that God does not exist. So that's a very general point. However, a jiva turns to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates accordingly. And also in 15:15, Sarvasya Chaham Riddhi Sannivisho Mataha Smitir Jnanam Apohancha. Krishna says, I give remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. So as the jiva wants to reciprocate, turn towards Krishna, Krishna reciprocates accordingly. Right? Proportionately, the word is used. But then further we see in the sections of bhakti, where Krishna actually says, Ananyas chintayanto mam, ye jana paryupasate, tesham nitya abhiyuktanam, yogakshemam ahamyam. That those who have that ananya bhakti to Krishna, right? So up to this point, the 2 verses I gave is more like a general reciprocation. As you turn to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. But now in the section of bhakti, what does Krishna say? Ananyas chintayanto mam. Those who turn to Krishna with ananya bhakti, unalloyed, unmotivated, pure devotional service. Then what does Krishna say? Yogakshemam. I provide what they lack. Right? So Krishna takes complete care of one who has actually engaged in ananya bhakti. And further in the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharma parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Imagine that ekam sharanam. Krishna is asking for that exclusive surrender unto him. And what does surrender mean? And then we know that how the 6 aspects of surrender are actually explained. That anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjanam, accepting things favorable in service of Krishna, rejecting those things which are unfavorable. Then the other 2 aspects are accepting Krishna as our only maintainer, accepting Krishna as our only protector. And then is humility, and then working according to the desire of Krishna. Those are the 6. But if you see number 3 and 4, accepting Krishna as our only maintainer and only protector. So I was thinking, so we talked about how Rukmini, they are all associates of Krishna's, and they're pure devotees, and Pandavas, pure devotees of Krishna. So they have that kind of reciprocation. But practically for us, how is that reciprocation? How is that that mood of Krishna that he waits till the end seen in our life, So I was thinking, when we think about this point of surrender, complete surrender, accepting Krishna as our only protector, Krishna as our only maintainer. When you think about this, to come to that stage is not easy. Because we have so many shelters, Bhagavatam talks of like false shelters. Right? We take shelter of so many different items. We take shelter of, okay, I have money, I have intelligence, I'll figure it out. Yes, Krishna, I turn to Krishna, Krishna, please help me. But my money is there, it will take care. I have insurance, it will take care. Right? We don't have that exclusive Krishna, only Krishna. And that is what Krishna is asking from each one. Mam ekam sharanam, just one point, that only Krishna, ananya bhakti. And for us to come to that point, practically in our life, we see that Krishna, I'm sure maybe we all have experienced that we're doing some kind of seva and there's some kind of obstacles, and then we try this and it's not working out. And then finally we say, okay, I have tried everything possible. Krishna, I'm doing this for you, but it's not working out. And finally we come to say, oh Krishna, you are my only protector. Only you can make this happen. No one else. Everyone we have all tried, it's not happening. Only Krishna, you can make it happen. So practically in our life, that emotion of Krishna, trying to increase that emotion, we can also as sadhakas experience in our day-to-day life. Where Krishna is bringing some kind of obstacle and we are forced to take that, oh, Krishna, only you, Krishna, only you. And Krishna wants to bring out that exclusiveness from the core of our heart. And hence, we may experience all these emotions even practically in our day-to-day sadhana. Yeah. So, is that point okay? Yeah. Okay. So that was the main thing I was thinking, that how Krishna, even in our heart as sadhakas, he actually kind of brings out that exclusiveness, that devotion in our heart. Right? So, also along this theme, so we are seeing how Krishna reciprocated with his pure devotees and how that mood of Krishna is applicable to sadhakas. And even we can see that point to how when Rukmini was actually saying all the previous verses, is Krishna going to come? How is that applicable to us? Even in our life, sometimes we may say, is Krishna really listening to me? Maybe some anarthas that we are fighting. It's like, and maybe something that's, like some anarthas, maybe like we take up Krishna consciousness, we start chanting, it's like, okay, I don't care for it, like no taste at all, it's gone. But there are some anarthas that maybe like we struggle year after year with the same anartha. Like, oh, I don't want to do this, and then we do it. Krishna, I will not do this again, and then we do it. And we do it again and again and again. And one way we can think, well, Krishna, are you listening to me? I want to come to you. Why is this anartha troubling me again and again? Krishna, I just want to get rid of it. Krishna, are you there? Are you listening to me? And we may get the same as Rukmini was thinking, that is Krishna really coming? We may have the same mood, that is Krishna really listening to my prayer? But seeing this mood of Krishna, we can actually understand that Krishna is actually, may not be helping us take out that anartha because he's trying to intensify our devotion to him. Or he wants to like actually say, okay, I want this anartha is there, is coming again and again. I'm there, I'm listening to you. I am seeing what is going on in your heart. But I want you to actually take this further step in devotion. I want you to go deeper in your bhakti. And then you will get rid of the anartha. So Krishna is also, practically he's kind of, like we have to always have the faith that, yes, Krishna is in our heart and he is actually listening to everything that is going on in our spiritual life. Every emotion that we go through as a sadhaka, Krishna is actually listening. He knows us more than we know him. Right? And also because Krishna wants us back home, back to Godhead, even more than we may desire. Right? So Krishna is there and he knows what is the best thing for us in our devotional life so that we can quickly come back to him. So that faith that yes, Krishna is listening to me, and this struggle which is happening again and again in my spiritual life is Krishna teaching me that I need to take a further step? I need to go deeper. I need to intensify my bhakti. I need to do something more. So Krishna is waiting for me to take the additional step before reciprocation. But Krishna is there for sure. Krishna is certainly there. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see if there are any comments, and then maybe I'll make a few more points. Or yes, should I get one minute? Should I get the mic?
Many of us who grew up in the West, we had a lot of problem with the religious leaders who in our youth would say, well, no one knows God's plan. We don't know what God wants. Because we wanted to know something, and they would say, oh, God's unknown. You can't know him. You can't know him. So what's the difference between Bhishma saying, oh, no one can understand Krishna's plan, and then these other people who say, well, no one knows who God is or what's going on?
So, like in general, if people say like, oh yeah, we don't know God's plan and hence we should not try to understand, that is, I feel that's like a limited understanding. Like, when you come in contact with a pure devotee, actually a pure devotee will reveal, one way. But when Bhishma is actually making this point that no one can know God's plan, he's actually making the point that yes, for sure Krishna is intensifying the devotion of everyone, whether the sadhaka or pure devotee, that's his mood. But how he does it, no one knows. Right? Either he will do that by giving problems to a devotee, or he will do that without giving problems to a devotee. That how he does it, that no one knows. But for sure, Krishna is there reciprocating with each one of us. But how he reciprocates, that is that is up to Krishna. He knows what is the best thing for us, and hence he will choose to reciprocate with a particular devotee in a particular way. So when Bhishma is saying that no one can understand Krishna's plan, he is actually making the point that no one can understand how Krishna will reciprocate with a particular devotee to bring that devotee back home. The other extreme on the spectrum is where they say, oh, no one can know God, hence we should not inquire. Well, that's like, one way there's like a big barrier between that person and God, because, basically the point here, even when Bhishma says that no one knows Krishna's plan, Krishna's reciprocation with his devotee, his love for his devotee, that everyone knows. That is known. For sure, Krishna loves each one of us. His love for each one of us is so deep that he is like, even though we turn away from him again and again, he comes with us and he's in our heart as Paramatma. He's there listening to us, making all the arrangements. So he's there for sure. But beyond how he reciprocates, that is, Krishna is Swarat. He's independent. He can do how he likes. And if that's a few points. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. So, Prabhu, you're mentioning about reciprocation and surrender. So, what's the relationship between understanding that Krishna is reciprocating? Is it related to the level of surrender we have? Like you were talking about how Draupadi, full surrender. So, how do we understand as sadhana bhaktas? Can you explain to us? So
Certainly Krishna, as soon as we take up sadhana bhakti, Krishna is certainly reciprocating with us. Like our greatest fortune is we have come in contact with Srila Prabhupada, who is giving us pure bhakti. That pure devotional service, that the seed of pure devotion that Srila Prabhupada has given, that is our greatest fortune. Maybe there are others who may give a seed of bhakti, but that may not be pure. You can have a seed of bhakti that is mixed with not jnana karmadi anavritam. It may be mixed with some jnana, some karma, some yoga. But what Prabhupada has given us is that pure bhakti lata beach. So when we have received that greatest fortune of pure bhakti, we know, because we are in contact with Srila Prabhupada, Krishna is reciprocating with us. For sure, Krishna is listening to every emotion that we are going through in our journey. Krishna is there for sure. Now, knowing that Krishna is there, how do we want to serve Him. How do we want to serve? And then more we surrender to Krishna, the more Krishna will actually pull us to Him. Right? So reciprocation is there, but Krishna is waiting for us to to actually say, okay, I know Krishna, you're listening to me. Let me actually go deeper. Let me actually do this for you. Let me do this. And to the extent we actually surrender, like the 6 aspects of surrender, right? We accept that. We have that firm faith. Yes, finally Krishna is our maintainer. He is actually our protector. And as our faith increases, and to that extent Krishna will reciprocate and pull us to Him.
Prabhu, I have 2 questions. How do we, when we say Krishna is the sole maintainer, practically we shouldn't just wait for Krishna to do things for us, right? I mean, that's the extreme. Practically, what do? We still have to endeavor, I think, right? That's one.
Okay, so to that point is basically that, yes, we have to do our duty. Certainly Krishna wants us to do our duty. But we don't put faith in the results of our duty. Our faith is only on Krishna. Like Krishna will provide, right? Like we could do our best endeavor, but is the result guaranteed? No. I mean, you could do the best. You may have a degree in the best university. You may be more intelligent, but all of a sudden your job taken, right? I mean, there is no one way that disconnect between our qualifications and the result is actually that, oh, finally Krishna is in control. He is the real maintainer. Otherwise, all my qualifications, everything is useless. It is finally. So we have to use our ability, what Krishna has given. We have to do our duty, but our faith is actually, like how Prahlad Maharaj also makes a prayer. You could have the best medicine. You have the best doctor. But is that treatment going to work? May not be. That's in Krishna's hand. So we don't put faith in those material endeavors, that medicine. Our faith is only in Krishna. And finally, He's a maintainer. But we have to do our needful for sure. Like how it says, Karmanyavadikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. Right? And last line is basically, not doing your duty, that is sinful. Krishna doesn't accept that. You have to do your...
The next question was, you spoke about anarthas, removing the anarthas, and you mentioned, is it we that can remove it or Krishna needs to remove it? Can you clarify? I don't know if we can remove it ourselves.
Yeah, so finally it is Krishna who removes it, but He removes it based on our sincerity in bhakti, based on how much we want to progress, how much we really want to take that anartha so that we come to Krishna. So only Krishna has to, like, how we say, Shinvatam sa katha Krishna, punya shravanam Krishna, ridyantastu abhadrani. Krishna, in our hridaya, what all abhadra is there, ridyantu abhadrani, Krishna takes it out. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is right there, and He's ready to take away our anarthas. But that inclination, that sincerity in our heart, is our determination, our enthusiasm in bhakti is what Krishna is looking for. And that's why I made the point that there may be some anarthas and Krishna is not taking that out because He wants us to become more sincere, more determined in our bhakti. And then at the stage, when we are come to a stage that Krishna is trying to pull us to, then Krishna will just take it away. How we read in different leelas, like Varaha Leela. The whole fight is described like so many verses. And finally, how does Varaha kill Hiranyaksha? Just one, that's it. And you can just see one tap under the ear and that's it. Right? So that way Krishna can take away any anarthas. But it's from our side that we have to really deepen. Krishna wants us to deepen, wants us to come to that stage of Maham Ekam, exclusive, Ananya Bhakti. So that Krishna waits until He reciprocates. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai.
Sundaranga Kandar Agong Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Namaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Kriya Vriti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Namaham Bhajami
Govindam Purusham Namaham Vishnu Pajaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Sammeniti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Murabani Vacha Dehi Nivasesha Shunyavadi Masachagade Sacharanday Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Radha Shiva Sade Naradavrina. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Goloka Nana Rana, Goloka Nana Ragade. nana, nana go looking nana, nana. Nana, hey, nana, nana, hey, nana, hey. Jai Om Vishnupad.
Chaito Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipanam Punamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjanina Nuraga Nanadapi Sunichena Charorapi Suhishuna Amani Namana Dena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamae Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kribayata Vapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nayanam Galadashu Daraya Varanam Gad Gadurudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati Yuga Yatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishyavapadam Natsumam Adarshanam Marma Hatau Karotuva Yatatava Vidadatulam Patomat Prananatastusa Evanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when they your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace. It makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Shri Shastika Ki Jai. And just a quick reminder that we'll be going on Harinam Sankirtan on Sunday this week, 'cause tomorrow's going to rain. And it's going to be between 11:30 and 1 o'clock at Weaver Street Market here in Hillsborough. Hare Krishna.